Gordy and I wanted to help explain win share really quick. First off, win share is a metric that aims to explain the contribution of an individual player, position group, or even side of the ball as it relates to wins. So if you see a 5 win share and the team had 11 wins that season, you can assume the defense was around 6 wins. Special teams matters too. If you drill that down one level deeper, what you'll notice is that is a probability of, for example, the offense earning a first down or a touchdown on each individual play that they actually had in a game, or a defense stopping it. So when you're looking at it, it's the probability of scoring related to an individual player, a position group, or a side of the ball. You get it, Gord? Perfect.
All right, so you understand now? You get that? We're going to talk a lot of science here. This isn't about your opinion. This is actual data. And if you have a problem with it, you can go ahead and take it up with Cynthia Frelund. She's been an analyst for quite some time, and her statistics seem to be dead on. But they are statistics. It's not an opinion. You may find fault with it because you have an opinion that is counter to what the data says. So since we're going to be talking about Cynthia Frelund, let's go ahead and look at her background to make sure we voir dire her good enough for your opinion. All right, so we're here on the bio of Cynthia Frelund, and exactly who is she? Cynthia Frelund is the NFL media's first analytics expert. So she's not with the network, she's with the NFL. And she can be seen across a variety of NFL media shows and platforms. During the week, you can see Cynthia on NFL Fantasy Live and every Friday on NFL Game Day View. Frelund joined the NFL from ESPN, where she was a predictive analytics analyst for 2 years. Prior to that, she served as a business development manager for Disney ABC Television and as a finance analyst for the NFL. Furthermore, Frelund graduated from Boston College with a BS in biology in 2005 before receiving her MBA. So she's got smarts. Her MBA in finance, entrepreneurship, and innovation, and continuing to get another Master of Science in predictive analytics at Northwestern University. So I think we've laid the foundation that Cynthia Frelund is an expert. We've gone through our voir dire at this point, and there's no doubting that she knows what the heck she's talking about. So if you have an opinion contrary to hers, that's just an opinion. She's analyzing actual data. So let's continue. So what exactly is predictive analytics? I know we're getting really deep here, but I want to make sure I lay this out before we get into talking about the top 10 offenses in the NFL. Okay, this is from Google. Actually, it's from IBM. It's a Google citation. Predictive analytics is a branch of advanced analytics that makes predictions about future outcomes using historical data combined with statistical modeling, data mining techniques, and machine learning. Companies employ predictive analytics to find patterns in data to identify risks and opportunities. I could read that 3 or 4 times, but unless you understand that this is data and that it's done by computers and it's that statistical analysis and predictions using historical data, it doesn't really matter. You have to believe in the data. If 1 + 1 = 2, then you understand where we're going here. This is not opinion-based. This is data-based. If you don't choose to understand or don't want to believe the data, well, then I guess you can close this video right now. So before Frelund got to doing some predictive analytics on who are the top 10 offensive teams in the NFL, I'm going to take you back like a week beforehand and look at what she found in regards to the teams in the AFC. So she had penned an article on May 11th where she talked about each AFC's team's win total projection for the 2023 season, understanding that win totals and win share are completely different data sets. So I've highlighted a few things in this article. Here's how to read these projections. Using the projected 53-man rosters as of May 11th, she ran 100,000 different simulations for all 272 NFL regular season games. I haven't done that. Have you? If you haven't done that, then you have an opinion, you don't have data. A quick note, barring injuries, which are typically the biggest source of uncertainty, and if we don't know that, I've made roster projections using the best information available. And she's reminding people that's as of today. It's just May, and that stuff may change. These simulations yielded a projected win total for each team, which, thanks to a multitude of factors involved, is not always a round number. The top 7 teams in each conference are my projected playoff participants. Remember, these simulations account for many contextualized data points that have been proven to correlate to wins and losses based upon historical football games that were actually played. Personnel is the most important, but the other key factors include play caller tendencies and in-game situations. So in other words, she took a lot of historical data on each team, piled that into a computer, used the stats, who was calling the plays, who's on the roster, who they got on the schedule, and came up with a projection of win totals for the 2023 NFL season. So let's get to that. Okay, so the first team she's got on this is the Kansas City Chiefs, winning 11.6 games. Not bad. That's even light in my mind, but I don't have data. I don't have 100,000 data points to compare it to. But she's got a win total over 11.5. Next up is the Cincinnati Bengals with 11 wins. After that, who do we have? We have the Buffalo Bills with 10.6 as their over. Actually, 10.5. Next, after that, she's got the Baltimore Ravens at 9.9. After the Ravens, she's got the New York Jets at 9.8, and that's with the projected roster with having Aaron Rodgers on the team. So she's got the Dolphins at 9.6 wins this year. I know a lot of people are really upset with this. They don't know how she came up with it, but she came up with by predictive analyzing the data points in the season, the play callers, the team, the roster, yada, 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 and the rest of it. 9.6. Then she justifies the rating by telling you here, the Dolphins' win potential for both of these road tilts, the Los Angeles Chargers and the Baltimore Ravens, decreased slightly due to the timing of the games. The Finns play the Ravens immediately after hosting the Cowboys on Christmas Eve, while the Chargers game ranks top 3 in the AFC in terms of playoff implications for a non-divisional matchup. It matters in 8.1% of the simulations. The next closest game matters is 6.2%. I know that's a lot of data to assimilate, but basically the fact of the matter that the Los Angeles Chargers are one of the toughest games that the Miami Dolphins will play early in the season is telling the computer, no, hey, listen, you got a problem. You're only going to be at about 9.6 wins. So obviously, if the Dolphins upset the Los Angeles Chargers, things could get really screwy with the future predictive analysis. So now let's segue into looking at who she has as the top 10 offenses in the NFL in 2023. It's shocking. So here's her article on who is going to be the top 10 offenses in the NFL in 2023. She's listing the Bills, Chiefs, and Eagles as having the highest win share. Earlier in this video, you may need to rewind it and understand what win share means in regards to predictive analytics. It's not the same as how many wins a team is going to get. It's a specific statistic regarding her predictive analytics. Win share does not mean how many wins. Win share has a lot of other variables that play into it. Go back, rewind the beginning of this video in case you need to understand what win share means. So I've highlighted some of the stuff in this article so you guys can try to follow along. Remember, win share measures the ability of each player, each position group inside of the ball to earn or prevent first downs, points, and touchdowns. All rosters used to simulate the season in this exercise are the forecasted 53-man roster through May 16th. So things could change. Let's continue. All right, so we're going to get down here. And, of course, the first one is the Kansas City Chiefs with the #1 offense in the NFL with a win share of 8.7. Number 2 coming up is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles with a win share rating of 8.5. Number 3, the Buffalo Bills with a win share rating of 8.2. Number 4 is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals with a projected win share of 8.0. Remember, win share does not mean projected wins. You'd have to go back to the beginning of this video and you'll be able to see what win share means. Number 5, the Dallas Cowboys with a win share of 7.9. Number 6, the San Francisco 49ers at 7.8. Number 7, this one shocked me. The Seattle Seahawks are coming in as the 7th rated offense in the entire NFL. Shocking. Number 8 is going to be the Baltimore Ravens with a win share of 7.3. And number 9 is the Los Angeles Chargers with a win share of 7.2. And number 10 is the New York Jets with a projected win share of 7.1. So the computer says that the Miami Dolphins aren't even in the top 10 of offenses in the entire NFL for 2023 based upon current predictive analytics, current roster, current personnel, current play calling, current defense, and that includes the new defense with Vic Fangio. All of that has been thrown into this computer. She has done 100,000 simulations of all 272 football games scheduled to be played in the NFL, and the top 10 teams don't include the Miami Dolphins. Not my opinion, it's Cynthia Frelund's opinion. It's not really even her opinion. She's just interpolating the data and putting it forth. Whew. This was a tough one to get through because it's so analytic, so data-driven. It's not an opinion. So you can't really get pissed at me, and you can't really get pissed at Cynthia Frelund because she's just interpreting the data. This is where things are going. This is how the schedules are being predicted. That's how so much advertising dollars are being spent. They've got predictive analytics on everything. Everything. You think ChatGPT is the only place where the AI is involved in your life? Well, right now you just saw the top 10 offenses predicted to be in the NFL for 2023, and it doesn't include the Miami Dolphins. And your opinion is just that. Your opinion as to where the Dolphins stand doesn't match the IBM computer. I think it was IBM, she said. Doesn't match. 100,000 simulations of all 272 games, of all plays called in the NFL, the historical data of every single person playing in the NFL, and that's what they came up with. I know it's shocking. I mean, even I looked at this and went, wow, you've got the Seattle Seahawks in there? The computer thinks the Seattle Seahawks are one of the top 10 offenses in the NFL? Numbers don't lie. They can change, but numbers don't lie. As of today, that's what the NFL, and this isn't from some stupid website. This is the NFL specifically. Not Bleacher Report, not Rich Eisen, not Colin Cowherd. This is the NFL putting out this data. So if you have a problem with it, it's the NFL. And it's their computers. And they have all the data to plug into this predictive analytics. I don't know what to think about it other than I believe in data. And that's why I've been talking a lot about the way the Miami Dolphins have been set up for 2023 is because I try to keep an opinion out of it. I've been trying to be completely objective and go, this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm judging things on. And it looks as though the computers have been doing the exact same thing. So I know a bunch of you guys are probably going to have a problem with this, but go ahead and let me know your opinion of predictive analytics and what the NFL is saying about the Miami Dolphins or what they're not saying about the Miami Dolphins. Talk to you soon. Fins up. Numbers don't lie.
Is anybody catching on to this Barry guy?